Welcome to the No Psych, No Excuses podcast, where we have real, raw, authentic conversation. Here's your host, Kijuan Amey. All right, here we are back for another episode of the No Psych, No Excuses podcast. And y'all already know, y'all are here because y'all want to be here. I'm not dragging you in this thing. Let's do it. Y'all love it because the content is so amazing. It's so beautiful. And it's just some substance for your life. Not just me, for yours too. Listen, today's episode is definitely one that you want to hear about. Because I know y'all have had somebody who's expected you to do something, who wanted you to do it in a certain time, who said you should be doing it by this time. When really all we need to be focusing on is like the standards. That's really what life should be about, the standard of living, the standard of how things should be done, the standard of it. Listen, that's what today's episode is about. Expectations versus standards, okay? Because in my life, yes, I know all about this. I'm speaking from experience. I've told y'all this before on numerous podcasts that that's all I could do. That's the best way to bring you information is from experience. Expectations. Listen, they can be the root of some mean things, okay? I expected you to do this, and I expected you, and then I think you should be. Listen, I'm just gonna be honest with you, okay? You can expect all you want, whether it's from your children, whether it's from your brothers, whether it's from your sisters, your mamas, your daddies, your cousins, your auntie, whether it's from your best friend, whether it's from the person you look up to, your role model. Listen, expectations will dictate some bad things on you. Why? Because it actually causes more stress. And it's usually, why do you want to put more stress on me because of your expectations? Because that's what it is. Why are you putting stress on somebody? I expect you, and it usually comes off in a temperament in that manner. I expect you to do this. I expected this to be like this. Hey, listen now. I'm gonna tell you like this. Don't do it don't do it now. Now that I'm grown, don't do it. Cause I ain't the most tameable person you could think of. I'm gonna tell you that right now. But what I will say is life, it has taught me that with these people who do put expectations on just life in general, but on your life, it starts to have a negative connotation towards what's going on. Whether it feels good from their side of you, their point of view, but I'm sure you have the moments where you're just like, man, I can never do anything right because you always feel like I'm not doing it the way you want me to do it, or your expectations of me are here when really I'm down here. Help me build up to here, you know? And let's get to the standard side of it. Because I think the standards is really what should be looked at versus an expectation. I'm telling you, expectations will let you down. Standards can let you down too, but it's because you let yourself down with a standard. Now, here's the thing about standards. Standards are set by a person and can also be set by someone else towards you. Well, it could be like a standard that the family has. Oh, we have we don't do anything less than college. You gotta get a bachelor's. Like that could be a standard in a family. You know what I mean? It could be. But one that also could be like, something simple. The standard is we just treat people with respect. That's a standard. We when you think about something like that, just go back to the fact of treating somebody with respect being a standard is one of the things that could actually get you very far in life. It also could get you out of a lot of crap. Because I've actually gotten out of a lot of stuff because of just having simply respect for someone. You might not like them, and they might think other things and or think about something other than what you do. I don't really like to get into politics, but they might have different political views or different beliefs, but the fact that you just respect them as a human, as long as they're not, you know what I mean, as long as they're not blatantly being rude or disrespectful towards you, you get what I'm saying. But as long as you gain they have respect and you have respect for each other, bam, that's it. Now, if they're disrespecting you, you can obviously go the other way. That's easy. Easy peasy. Wipe your hands and be done with it. I'm not saying you should trade respect for respect. So if they disrespecting you, you start disrespecting them. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is your standard is to start off in respect. If they take the opposite road, okay, you take the road of leaving. That's what I'm saying. So listen, expectations and standards. They're so they seem similar, but really it's one of those things where expectations are usually given from somebody else. Usually. I mean, yes, you can have expectations for yourself. I had them too. Trust me, I have. But the thing is, um, my expectations for myself, boy, I tell you, I don't know. They might be worse than what any of y'all try to put on me. so so it's y'all. If y'all think y'all can outdo my expectations, hey, have at it. Okay, I'm willing to hear it. I'm willing to hear from y'all in that regard. But anyway, because my standards are high, and so that makes my value even higher. So that's how I view it. And yeah, so guys, we'll move on to the next segment. Faith it till you make it. Y'all know about that word faith. I love it. FAITH. So anyway, faith it till you make it. Faith has been a huge part of my life ever since this accident and even before, but most definitely after that accident. As y'all know, if you follow my story from the motorcycle accident, they did not expect me to make it. There were no expectations there. They literally from the surgeon who did my spinal cord infusion. He told me to my face on one of the follow up appointments that he was doing my surgery for protocol. No expectations. You tell me where the expectation is in that. Okay. And so my thing is when they don't expect you to win, you have to find that faith. You have to go get that faith and that belief because God is what expected me to win. God, and there's a Bible verse for this. When the enemy comes in like a flood, the Lord will raise up a standard. He doesn't have to have expectation. Here's a standard. I know my son's gonna make it, and that's me. I'm his son. He knew I would make it. Why? Because he was directing the surgeon's hands to prepare my back for that surgical operation. And that of course that Bible verse is Isaiah 59:19. But again, there was a standard. This is why I talk about expectations versus standard, because God is of course my belief is in Jesus Christ. And my thing is, if you don't have some kind of backing in your life to figure out why you're doing this, what makes you do that, why your wheels are turning in this direction, you're wandering aimlessly. And that's not good at all. That's like a sheep being, wandering off, being astray. But again, if you follow the Bible talks about how the shepherd went off and got that one of 99. We left the flock to go find that one that strayed off. And that's how we need somebody like that. If y'all don't want somebody a shepherd like that, I don't know what's wrong with you. Because I'm just saying, you know. But going back to my story, again, they did not expect me to make it. It was one of those call the family in, hey, get as much time as you can, because once we start operating, there's no telling whether he's going to make it through or not. But when the standard outweighs the expectation, oh man, it's something beautiful. So remember, faith it till you the 3 E's. Y'all know what that is. The 3 E's for the day: excuse, execute, and elevate. Now, with the 3 E's for this week being, a part of the expectations versus standards, we would definitely have to kick that excuse. Okay, y'all know how I feel about excuses. I just don't like 'em, okay, I just don't. And so the excuse is, well, they expected me to do this, or they expected this out of me, and I just I couldn't man up to it. I couldn't woman up to it. I just couldn't match up to it. I wasn't strong enough. Sounds like a bunch of excuses to me, huh? Instead of allowing their excuses to dictate your outcome overall. Remember that scripture I just talked about raising up, how God raised up a standard? You just show them your standard. My standard does not match up to your expectation. Whew. Come on now. Tell them what it should be instead of what they think you should be. Because their expectations are not always the most accurate. They're not always reasonable. They're not always relatable. And flat out, sometimes they're just wrong. I could be expected to play Superman in a movie film, but in real life, I'm not Superman. In real life, I know that that's not me. First off, my name ain't Clark Kent. First off, my dad ain't named Jarrell. And I ain't come from these different the star galaxy of planet outside of Earth. I was born here. So what we have to do is turn expectations from this dream world into what is real, what's reality, how does it set in. I'm a realist anyway, so if you talk to me, you're gonna get some real. But anyway, I have to turn it into what's reality and what can be. And when we turn into going back to my situation with the accident of how they expected me not to live, even after that, like, it was so I traveled in the Air Force, guys. I flew all over the country. I flew all over the world. I've been to 4 different continents. And hello, I've been back to one of them. Yeah, I've been back to one of those continents, Europe. I was just in Europe, back in Italy. I went back to Italy, well, to Italy. That was my first time in Italy. I went to Italy, and boy, did I have an amazing time, okay? Yes, I'm still blind. I can't see a thing. But that didn't stop me. That's the thing. When we allow excuses to stop us, you hear what I said now? When we allow excuses to stop us, because it ain't stopping nobody else, it's stopping you. That's on you. You have to find a way around it. That's where the execution comes in, when you find your way around it. Because when you find your way around it, guess what it's going to do? It's going to elevate you to whatever you need to do. That was me going to Italy. Next week, I'm getting ready to go to New York. Guys, it's not about me bragging. It's about me saying, I can do this. It's about saying your expectations don't line up with my standards. My standards are, I can get out here and do whatever the heck I need to do to get wherever the heck I need to go. Okay. That's all it is. That's for me. Okay. What you guys need to do is find out what the excuses are that you keep coming up with. What's your plan of execution and how to get around these excuses, in other people's expectations for your own standards. And lastly, how to elevate to get past all that stuff so that you can get to living life. And y'all know what song well with that? I'm living my best life. Because I'm out here living my best life, or shall I say my blessed life. All right. So I'm gonna see y'all back for the tool of the week. And I know a lot of you really like this because I've heard the feedback. The tool of the week for this week is, are you living by the world's expectations or your own standards? Ooh, that's a good question. I need y'all to figure this out because I'm going to ask y'all to write down 3 expectations that people, you know what? No, scratch that. 3 expectations that the world, not just the city, but the world, Craig, has put on you. And I need you to write down 3 standards that you have for yourself. Why do I say that? Because the world wants to put expectations such as, well, you should be married by this time. Well, you should already have kids. Well, you should be, hey, I don't know you, and you don't know my situation. What I do know is I'm gonna do this on my time because everybody learned how to pedal a bike at a different time if we were able. Everybody was able to do different things, read, write, math, we were able to do all that at different times. We picked it up at different times. And some people still ain't got it. They just don't want to be. They want to be rebellious. But we won't get into that. But that's all I want to say. Write down 3 things that the world has put on you, the expectations that the world has put on you. And I also want you to write down 3 standards you have for yourself. All right, that's the tool of the week. You get to separate again this week, but it's okay. I will be back. I promise. But again, this is another great episode of the No Psych, No Excuses podcast. And y'all know today's episode was talking about expectations versus standards. And remember, I just want y'all to hear this. Expectations are opinions. Okay? That's somebody's opinions. The world's opinions. Okay? Let that go. You don't want no opinions. You can do what you want with opinions. Everybody got opinions. That don't mean we want. But standards are something we can hold on to, we can value, we can live by, we can move forward with. Let's go by standards, okay? Because the standards are what really make a difference, okay? I just want everybody to hold on to that. Now, if you really do, because this was a good episode, and I know it was because I felt it. Guys, play this again. Hear it again. If you liked a certain segment, hear it again, because this will help you not only in just your life, but in just, even helping someone else. You could help somebody. Send this to somebody else that's like, oh, they keep putting all these expectations on me at work and blah, blah, blah. Listen, this is the perfect episode for them. So they can stop saying, well, you know what? I like that standard thing. I'm going to start going with that so I could create my own standards for myself. But guys, we've got to start doing this for ourselves, because if we live for other people, you'll never have an identity. And that's the big thing. That's the big thing, is having your own identity. I don't want you to be out here living like you're somebody else. I want you to be you. Remember that statement that I made earlier about the Clark Kent and Superman? He had to live under a whole nother identity before that Superman came out and he put that cape on, right? I ain't trying to live like that. I want to be Kijuan Amey and Kijuan Amey only. Okay. But guys, this has been another amazing episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some value out of the expectation versus standard debate. And I'm just going to say it like this. Just because you can't believe it doesn't mean you can't achieve it. Peace out, y'all.